Hello everyone, welcome to another edition of VAFA Tragics. It's great to have your company for another week. We're going to kick things off going straight to tuck shop trials because this is what we want to talk about. This is what the show's about. It's about investigating what's happening at tuck shops. I better welcome Nick Armistead. Here he is. Nick, how are you?
Hey mate, I'm very well. How are you?
Well, thank you.
I'm looking forward to tuck shop trials, I'm not going to lie.
Dylan Jones has done a great thing. Well, I don't know if he's done a great thing, but he's been caught doing a great thing. This is an image. We've only got images at this stage.
Yeah.
Haven't got vision, but still want the vision to come in. A pre-game tuck shop visit.
Yeah, that is absolutely sensational. He's a big unit. He obviously doesn't mind having a feed, and he needs a feed because he runs through the ruck. He's playing fantastically, but the fact that the CYs have got a photo of him leaning over the
Do we know what he went with?
No idea.
So this is what we know. We need a bit more information, a bit more detail on what's happening with your players. Are they tuck shopping before the game? Are they doing it at half time? What are they buying? Are they getting it, as a bit of incentive from the canteen person at half time to go, don't worry about paying, that's fine?
Surely. Now, I'm going to assume he's a sausage roll man. I don't know where I plucked that from, but he just looks like one to me. So I will be interested to hear from Willie CYs to see if that is in fact the case.
Footy highlight. Let's get into the footy highlight from the weekend.
So I'm going down to St Bernard's, and we had actually received a message on the VAFA Facebook page about this highlight from one of their players. Benny Huggard sent it in, and it's an absolute screamer that's taken on the forward flank here. But the thing that got me, Lenny, is that the mark was taken by Benny Huggard, and we were made aware of it from Benny Huggard. So there was no way we were going to miss it.
Played. My highlight from the weekend, BJ's on the board, not only with his first game for Caulfield, but also with his first couple of goals. I saw the highlight of his first goal. Probably won't go down in the annals as one of the all-time great goals.
I don't think so.
But all the same, good to see him having a run around and getting those qualification games up for a possible sneaky senior flag. So when you look at the results on a Saturday night and you scroll through your feed and you've done your tips and you're thinking, Skob's in a cakewalk over De La Salle, and you're looking De La Salle have beaten them. You're wondering what the hell's going on in William Buck Premier.
Correct, you are. It's a good surprise, though. It's great to see De La get another win.
Absolutely.
Hadn't won since round 2, but what an upset.
No, fantastic.
What a genuine upset. So the thing that gets me, though, is that last year in round 15, they actually beat St Kevin's at Waverley again. So maybe it's something about Waverley Oval, but they jumped Skob with the first 4 goals of the game and then just held on thereafter. Tom Humphrey returned from injuries. Their captain, obviously, he was best on ground. Adam Trusley kicked 3 goals, and their best players were the young guns, Geordie Nagel and Harry Pearson.
Now, did you tell Jason Holmes that he was the best ruckman in the competition on Saturday afternoon during the broadcast after Zavs had beaten Collegians?
I potentially may have alluded to it, but I think his performance...
Have you let Ace... Did you ring Ace Cordy first to say, sorry, I'm about to tell...
Ace is a combined... He's a ruck forward.
Yep.
As far as just ruckman go, Jason Holmes is right.
How do you manage who your favourite player is, and the relationships you have with them across the competition?
It changes every 10 minutes.
I know. It's a tough ask,
It really is, but you just got to play up to, I guess, their egos a little bit as much as you can. But speaking to Holmesy, he does not have an ego. He was absolutely outstanding for Zavs on the weekend. He had 67 hit-outs, and him and Rolling Buick were really the difference. After Collegians jumped them early, they were the difference. And speaking to him after the game, it was interesting to hear him say about, obviously we know of the inside contested mids from Collegians, and that in fact he just decided to go Clark Keating and start whacking everything over the midfield. And so they just ran onto it and they just dominated with 7 goals in that last quarter.
They did indeed. Old Melburnians defeated Old Trinity. A few worries for Old Trinity, particularly with D-Lo winning now.
Yeah, absolutely it is. Now, Old Trinity looked to be struggling a little bit, and this was a 64-point turnaround. They led by 32 points at halftime and lost by 32 because OMs kicked 11 goals to 1 in that second half. Jackson Payne and Tom Cameron, once again, 4 goals each.
Worried for the Tunners, your team. The Burnies did a number on them at the Snake Pit.
Tunners would have rated themselves, I would have thought a little bit, with the Burnies entering on a 3-game losing streak, but they just weren't up to it. The Burnies just got it going in that second quarter with 7 goals to 2, and basically that was the game. Jack Mack, Michael Caven, 3 goals each, and I suppose when you've got Collegians now pushing, OMs obviously have locked up 4th spot for now, it's looking more and more difficult for the Tunners.
Uni Blues did a number on Old Kerry. Old Kerry's horror run of facing the top 3 sides has come to an end with a 100-point loss.
Yeah, the biggest loss of any team so far in William Buck Premier this season. Unfortunate for them, but the Blues keep rolling on.
We touched on Caulfield Grammarians winner, we touched on Brenton Goddard returning to the Caulfield Grammarians. They won over Monash Blues, and Fitzroy had a great win over Parkdale.
Yeah, great win by Fitzroy. They had been struggling since that one win against the Bees Mentone Tigers, so they got their second for the season. Nino Lazaro backed it up with a lazy 7 goals.
Michael Hayes Hazel's mob have strung together 3 wins in a row.
They have, and they needed to. They had an honesty session a few weeks ago that we know of, and now they've won 3 in a row, so they're flying.
St Beats Mentone Tigers, that is. Uni Blacks defeated Old Geelong, and Old Scotch rolled Beau Morris down at Camberwell Sports Ground. In Premier C, Old Ivanhoe and Old Camberwell had the close game of the day.
And it was an incredible final term with Camberwell Simon Bennett kicking a bomb at the 28-minute mark to give the Wallers the lead before Hamish Matheson pounced on a loose ball at a stoppage and gave the Hoes a 1-point lead with the final kick of the day. It went back to the middle, ball went up, siren's gone.
How deflating is that when you actually
So
got to go
deflating.
through? And the timekeepers would be sitting there going, "Well, there's only 2 seconds left." They're basically going to go. I think you should. Moral compass should say blow the siren.
Blow it there. I agree.
But I suppose if it's a 1-point result, you could technically get a free kick in the middle. And then a 50-metre penalty.
Yep.
And that could put you within range. So I suppose you've got to play out time, don't you?
Yep, correct. I'd never even thought of that.
Never thought about it either. We've thought about the Premier sections. It's time to think about women's footy. Alicia Min will join us at the desk after this.
Anytime is the right time to get fit at Anytime Fitness. Access over 400 gyms across the country 24/7 and discover why more Australians train at Anytime Fitness than any other gym. Go online and register now for your free 7-day pass and feel something better.
You're watching the VAFA Tragics. Thanks to... Actually, we don't have a sponsor, so we can't do thanks to yet. I'll put that back to you, Nick.
Yeah, no, we're working on it.
Alicia Min's at the desk.
Hi, Lenny.
How are you?
Very well. How are you?
Very well, thank you. What's been happening? Women's footy. Oh, it's Rep Footy this week.
Rep Footy Week. Fantastic. 2 p.m. Elstonwick Park. Make sure you're there.
We're going to chat to Ali Hynes in a second as well.
Yes, and Tom Stafford.
And Tom Stafford, the coach.
Brilliant. Get a bit of an insight of what's going to happen.
Exactly right.
On Saturday. So, tuck shot trials.
Yes. Oh, great.
Yeah.
Yep, I'm on. Yep, go.
You piqued his interest.
He's listening now. So, we haven't had any formal submissions to date.
Mm-hmm.
But the Yogs women are clearly big fans of the tuck shop. Here we see Casey Sheldon-Collins and Madison Stone. They're supporting this bastion of community sport. They're at the tuck shop pre-game, and I can confirm that they were eating a pie and hot chips. And then they went on to win.
So hang on, is this at Oggs?
No, this is at Allard Park against North Brunswick.
Okay, so they got hot chips at North Brunswick. This is a good,
Yeah.
good,
Like that,
good
yeah.
insight.
Like
This is
that.
a good little pickup.
And meat pies, you got to have a meat pie.
Well, I think if you don't have a
Everyone's
meat pie, everyone's going to have a meat pie. But yeah, that's a standard. I'm looking for the differentiators.
So anyway, they're eating it on field.
Sorry.
Moving on.
So they're eating it on field pre-game. They then go on to win by 33 points, and Casey was named second best. So there might be a correlation
Off the back of pie and chips.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Between
tick.
tuck shop
Says a
food
lot.
winning. And not exactly a tuck shop trial, but I found this fantastic picture. And unless RMIT serve pizza from their tuck shop, which would be incredible, check out this South Melbourne District's boundary umpire eating pizza on the field while she's doing her official duties. And not only that, it gets better. She has a pizza-carrying slave following her around from outside the fence with the box of pizza.
Brilliant.
Unheard of. Did this pizza come from
Any
the RMIT tuck shop?
mid-game consumption of food is going to be
Particularly
welcomed on
pizza.
this show.
Yeah,
yep,
that's
exactly
incredible.
right. This is community footy at its heart, right there.
Absolutely.
Um,
We'll move on to results.
Actual footy, yep.
Actual football. So in William Buck Premier Women's, St Mary's Salesian got the job done over Marsland. So they dealt them their first blow since round 3, only to the tune of 2 points though. And we also had 4 goals straight to the Trinities, which put them in front of the Roy Girls by 10 points. And Big V team selected. We know the team, and 2 of them were standouts, and that's Vanessa Murphy, who had 35 disposals and 10 tackles, and Teresa Razor Zampaglione had 32 disposals and 12
You like
tackles.
Razor, don't you?
I am a fan of Razor. What a nickname that is. She didn't pick it, she tells me, but I like it. You got to go with that.
You generally don't get to pick your good nicknames.
No. Anyone who gives himself a nickname is a bit of a flog, let's be honest.
You can call me the captain if you want.
I'll never call you a flog. Not while you're running this program.
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. So we had a bit of change of the weather on the weekend. First day of winter, and with winter comes mud. So
Yes.
there were quite a few photos from the women's competition over the weekend of mud, and I've created a bit of a continuum of how much mud these players had. So to kick it off, Greta Drain from the Hawks is supporting a few specks of mud, but she doesn't look mud about it at all. Check out her cheesy grin in that photo.
Not sure about that. Pun
At-
either.
That is garbage.
At Ross Gregory, moving on, Steph Conlon and
Oh, this
Sarah
is
Dash
cool.
look completely unperturbed by their muddy kits, and they wouldn't mind because they had a come from behind win and won by a point over Old Ivanhoe, so you're happy and you're a bit muddy. But the winner, and at the furthest end of this spectrum of mud kits, is Canterbury Cobras. Now, I don't really need to say anything because they look like they've just bathed in mud. But they're happy they had a win, and that's the mud continuum for you.
So they win.
They did.
Well, they wouldn't be dirty about that then.
Oh, that was worse than mine.
I quite like it.
Thank you. That's how it's done.
And that's women's footy for this week.
Enjoy the game on Saturday.
Thank you.
We should mention again, Elstonwick Park, 2 o'clock after the break. We're going to speak to Ali Hynes and Tom Stafford at the desk. Welcome back to the Tragics. Great to have your company. Hope you're enjoying the show so far. As I mentioned before the break, we've got our 2 guests from the women's Big V side. Tom Stafford, the coach, and Ali Hynes, who I presume we're going to find out if you're going to be playing on the weekend.
Yeah, fingers crossed.
Is she going to be playing on the weekend, Tom?
Green light, she's in.
Oh,
Beautiful.
congratulations. So
Thanks, Tom.
we may as well start with you, Ali. First Big V jumper. First time in the squad as well?
Yeah, my first time in the squad, first time training with the squad. So it's been a pretty awesome experience, yeah.
What particularly has been awesome about it?
Well, I guess going into it, I kind of thought it would be super competitive. And of course, everyone obviously wants to be there, but it's also really supportive and everyone's been so lovely. So it's just been nice to get to know the other girls from the other clubs.
Tom, first time coaching as well, congratulations, the Big V side at least. You've obviously assembled a team around you. Viewers of the Tragics would know I was an integral part of this could be the awkward bit, the only awkward bit for you really. I was obviously an integral part of the VAFA women's representative side for the last 2 successful years. I noticed I didn't get a call from you.
Yeah, look, Lenny, it was one of those ones where we after a lot of talking to all the coaches, and unfortunately just didn't get the gig this year. So
I think I wore a mic, when I was runner one year.
Beautifully.
Delivered some beautiful, I deliver a message like no one else really when you're running out onto the
He's
ground.
basically another on-field coach.
On-field coach, pretty much coached on field in the first year. You're not allowed to say that, are you? I don't think. You're not allowed to be an on-field coach, but just didn't come into calculations.
Apparently the messages weren't clear enough to the players, so that's the feedback I'm getting. So.
Yep, that's fair enough. How have you enjoyed the process?
No, I've loved it. It's been a great experience. I've coached Marcel in the last 2 years, and I've coached against Ali and a number of the other girls in the squad. So to actually have them at training and assemble them all from the different clubs, it's been a great experience. And the key things out of it, I've said to all the girls is, look, we've had to get the squad down to 24. We had over 55 girls try out. So as long as those girls can go back to their local clubs, having learnt something, I think that's a real benefit of the program.
How'd you go? You coaching this year as well?
So not in the VAFA this year.
But how do you go watching games if you're coaching? I think you're coaching at Whitefriars school side.
Yeah, so I coached the senior side at Whitefriars. So weekends the last month for myself and all the assistant coaches has been pretty busy. We've obviously got to as many VAFA games as possible. Probably at least two each a weekend. So it's been great to kind of see all the girls in action for their local clubs.
And VAFA TV too, I assume, is helping out the.
Absolutely. Well, the Premier Division games, they're all telecasts, and I've definitely watched those. Yeah.
Now I want to ask you, you two know each other prior to this year. You actually faced off in the 2017 grand final. Unfortunately for Ali, SKOB Saints didn't get up. But can you tell us a little bit about your first year coaching Marcelin? I suppose you guys won the Lightning Premiership. You were built from the ground up, and then you ended up taking out that William Buck Premier flag.
Yeah, it was an amazing year, that 2017 year. Look, they're an amazing playing group. We won the Lightning Premiership, and then we got elevated to the Premier Division. And I remember that first training after it, we were very, very worried about going up, because I'd actually went and watched St Kevin's versus Fitzroy, and look, at that stage they were a lot way ahead of us. We got into third position. We knocked Trinity, then we knocked Fitzroy, and then we came into in the grand final against St Kevin's. And St Kevin's played us 3 weeks prior to that big day, and they beat us by about 70 points, I think.
Yeah.
So for the girls to get up and about and to bring it on the big stage down at Elstonwick Park was something the coaches and all that playing group will remember forever.
Now, Lenny, we don't have footage of this, which is one of my biggest regrets. But apparently, It's going to go down in the annals of history. One of the three-quarter time speech from Marcelin's coach was one of the greatest ever delivered. The inflection in his voice up and down was absolutely pitch perfect. Can you tell us, when you deliver a speech like that?
Something about Marston coaches, because I reckon Glenn Cox gave one of the best three-quarter time speeches I've ever heard in my life as well.
Maybe Coxie may have done it to you as well.
We had Coxie coaches down there, so maybe it's something on Bulleen Road.
Yeah.
And,
Is that something you prepare prior to the match?
I think, that in particular speech at three-quarter time, that's not really done beforehand. I think the way the game was unfolding, three-quarter time was scores are equal. They knocked us off by 70 points three weeks prior. I thought the game was kind of on our terms. We could bottle it up. The longer the game, when it was close, I knew St Kevin's had it all to lose. There was a lot of people around from the club, so it was a real upbeat feeling. And Batman got that goal early in the last quarter, and it was on.
Ali, back to you now. And we talk about your career. I heard enough about Tom.
It's quite painful to hear about that from the other side of things. So
I can imagine. Almost 50 games of footy now at a senior level. Tell us a bit about your footy journey to this point.
Gosh. So I started the year before VAFA came about. So I've been playing for 4 years, and that first year of football, no one had any idea what they were doing. I remember our first game, I think we played against Melbourne Uni maybe, and I was still trying to work out, I was playing in the ruck, I was still trying to work out whether the umpire would throw the ball behind him or in front of him, because I didn't know the difference between a boundary throw in and a ball up. So that was just kind of a mark of our first season, and since then we've had 2 different coaches, both fantastic, Pat Di Natale and Tom Purcell. And I think we've just gone from strength to strength. Obviously the 2017 year was painful, but I think we've learnt from that, and I think we've just gone from strength to strength, and hopefully there's a good energy in the air this season. So
you're into full routine of football club life, footy trips at the end of the year, Thursday night, selection nights and all that sort of thing?
Yeah, we're doing all of that. SKOB's been very welcoming to the women's side, and I think we're pretty integrated, so it's been a great community to be a part of.
Where's been the most exotic location for your footy trip so far? You don't need to tell us details.
Sorrento.
Sorrento?
So yeah, we've been to Sorrento. We went on a winery tour last year, but Sorrento is probably the peak.
How hard is it making those final calls to girls that are going to possibly miss out playing the Goldfields on Saturday? Saturday, 2 o'clock at Elswick Park.
Yeah, that's probably the hardest part of the gig is being the coach, is notifying the girls that were so close to making the final squad. But, as I said before, we've got over 2,500 girls, playing VAFA football on the women's side. So from first to make the squad of 55 and then to obviously get down to the squad of 30 is a significant achievement, and they should be really proud. And they can definitely go back to their local clubs as better players. Do you have a game plan in store, or is it just what do you try and teach how you want them to play, given you've only got 4 sessions or so with them? Yeah, look, it's interesting because the last 2 years the girls' football's changed dramatically. I think 2017 was quite a congested game, a lot of stoppages, kicking down the line. So
that was the year you won the premiership over SKOB. Yeah.
Right. And Ali was part of the SKOB team.
That's right. Sorry,
that's right.
Needed to refresh.
Right.
Yep. Okay. Yep.
So I've spent a bit of time with them. The girls really take the game on and actually switch the play, create a lot more space, pull the trigger kick insides. As far as game plan going into Saturday, look, I want to make it relatively simple because the girls, I want to expose all their skills out there and then play a real attacking form of football. Very good. Good luck. Enjoy the festivities on Saturday night afterwards, because that's part of the fun of it as well.
Arguably the most fun part of it, to be fair.
It certainly has been for Nick in the last couple of years. Thanks for coming in, Ali. Good luck. Good luck for the rest of the season for SKOB as well.
Thank you.
Tom, good luck on Saturday.
Cheers.
Thanks for coming in.
Thanks,
and
guys.
My number, I'll leave it with you after the show for next year as well. We're going to come back and wrap up the show right after this. Welcome back to the Tragics. I did forget to mention, Nick, that there is an under-19s representative game as well, playing Vic Country. 11 o'clock on Saturday at Elswick Park, leading into the women's game at 2 p.m, which is the main event.
Both
but the
games.
19s game, you're telling me they're going to beat the Country?
I'm positive that they will beat the country. Oh, I'm very confident at least. It's a great look lineup, great team, and obviously they beat the country for the first time in 4 years last year. So I'm thinking they can make it 2 from 2.
Fair enough. You tipping the women's to beat the Goldfields as well?
Absolutely.
I think they win cakewalk.
Absolutely, and both games are live streamed as well with
Brilliant.
commentary.
So
for
you can
those
catch them
ones.
through vafa.com.au. Rightio, let's wrap up the show.
Let's do a best use of social media. Well, last week even, you saw that I went down to Westbourne Grammarians and it was their seconds player, Mark Chudowski, the Chad, who kicked this awesome goal and they all lost their lid. So during the week, one of the Westbourne women, Odette, has tried to do the same thing. She's slotted it a much better kick and a much better celebration. Take a look at this.
Stop.
Happy with that?
Yeah, very happy with that. That's the sort of stuff that sets the bar at this height.
Yeah.
Unfortunately for my social media use this week, everything is down here and we can't show anything because not enough. I didn't pick up anything through the social media channels. You don't have another one for me? No?
No, I only had the Chad challenge. That was it.
I know. I like it. I'm happy with that. Radio, quick questions.
God, clubs need to up their game a little
They
bit.
definitely do.
Quick questions. Well, we're going under 19 Spirit.
Yep.
We always do that heading in. I'm going Cam Hodges for BOG for the 19s.
Yep.
And I'm going Geordie Nagel for the Spirit. Who are you going for the women's?
I'll go Ali Hynes, clearly the bog. We've had her on the show.
Has to.
And I don't have the squad in front of me.
Cat O'Brien?
No. Albrighton?
Yep.
Yeah.
That is her, yeah.
Yeah, it is. Nah. Zagatinos, she playing?
Batman, of course she is.
Yeah. Oh,
Tessa.
yeah. Big V, Spirit.
Yep.
She
Done.
win it last year?
Nah. She kicked a good goal in that last quarter
Yeah.
that was been given a pretty good run.
Spirit for Zagatinos, Hynes for the DOG.
Done.
That's all I've got time for.
Sounds good.
See you next week on the Tragics.